G'day, mate, and welcome back to Factorio by the Hell with me, Jetty. It's episode 24½, which means another recap episode, which means we need to chat about what's happened in the last couple of weeks. Probably the most important thing that's happened last week is we've unlocked these babies, which are now delivering friendship packages directly to the neighbors. Yeah, you know, it's always important that when you move into a new city, new town, new suburb, when you move into a new street, you should really go and say hi to all the neighbors and, like, you know, if new people move in, you greet them. Or if you move in and your neighbor's a little bit snobby, you go greet them yourself. So that's what we've ended up doing. We're slowly greeting each one of the neighbors one by one with some slightly explosive packages. They're fairly happy with their presence. Yeah, they're fairly happy with their presence. We'll sort of leave that there. Anyway, this series. So this is a recap episode. We're going to sort of run through what's happened the last couple of weeks and what's going to happen going forward. Going forward, we're really hoping to live. That's pretty much sums it up. So week 1, we got power up and running, iron, obviously, iron, copper, stone smelter, that sort of stuff. The real basics. We got red and green sites running along with some labs. That was pretty much it for week 1. We didn't get a whole lot done. Week 2, we started setting up some more reasonable defenses. We started putting in some gun turrets, got an ammo belt running around the place, started making a little bit of yellow ammo, also unlocked some red ammo, and started working our way down the military tree, which of course included grenades, some walls, and military science packs. Military science packs in this particular mod pack are slightly different. We actually have to process alien corpses, or biter corpses, to pull out their raw components to, the most importantly, pull their brains out of their corpses to process their DNA to unlock military science, because that's definitely how military science works. It's all pulled from the alien DNA. This is how you learn about the aliens and a better way to kill them. Our workshop got continuously upgraded from week 1, and as we unlock new technology, it's been very, very helpful in getting us up and running. At the same time, in week 2, we went really, really heavy with the defenses. We put in a lot more gun turrets. We also unlocked fire, because we'd unlocked military, so we started whacking flamethrowers all around the base, like everywhere. As you can see, these are very, very close together, and still, in some cases, I'd say probably not close enough. We still have a few issues with the neighbors when they come knocking, and a few casualties are lost in every single skirmish. So, we got military up and running, and lots of fire, lots of defensive walls. That pretty much summed up week number 2. Now, what we're experiencing now is referred to as bullet time, because the biters are set to only attack at night. So, as we can see over here, it's referred to as bullet time because at the moment we're exchanging lots of bullets with the neighbors. A lot of bullets with the neighbors. A lot of bullets with the neighbors. Oh, here's another pack coming to say hello. And as you can see, between the fire, the bullets we're exchanging, the repair turrets going absolutely nuts trying to keep this gun turret alive. Yeah, this is why we refer to it as bullet time. It has to do with the biters dying and all the gibbets they live on the ground, which we use to then unlock science packs or burn to keep our smelters running or our power running. Or they took out every gun turret. Like every gun turret. On top of that, you might see there's a few special biters. We have grey ones and red ones. The grey ones are completely immune to fire, and the red ones are completely immune to lasers. Or the other way around. I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is some biters, they just stand under the fire and don't give a damn, and some are going to stand under lasers when we get that far. Can we stop that, please? Okay, we unlocked unlocked some pickup towers in week 2, week 3. I think the start of week 3 we unlocked these pickup towers. These pickup towers reach out and grab this biter goop that's on the ground. Nope, this one's already cleaned off the area. And runs that goop into this collection belt, which brings it down to our central storage. Well, our central sorting system. We've been sorting all the goop on filter belts. It's painful. But it is providing us a lot of resources that we're using because, you know, in this particular playthrough, your resources come to your base and die out the front constantly. One of the things we are picking up is Alien Ore Mark 1, this dark one here, Mark 2, this one sitting on this belt, and Mark 3. We can actually convert Alien Ore into other types of ore. Catch is it uses a lot of power and it's not exactly fast. The good news is we can convert ore because we actually got to the stage where we hadn't got this iron patch yet. We were just running on this iron patch, and we're a little bit short. So we started converting alien ore in the start of week 3, along with unlocking chemical science. So that required red circuits. It required actually finishing off the oil build completely, along with getting sulfur up and running and engines themselves. So it was a fairly heavy task to get completed in week 3, but between the pickup turrets, the belt sorter, and chemical science, we managed to unlock a few new goodies. Week 3? Yeah, week 4 started. Week 4 started, we continued down the same branch of unlocking science packs. We managed to, actually also in week 3, we actually managed to get construction robots and logistics robots up and running. They were very, very helpful. Not so much for repairing things, but for going out and replacing some of the turrets I'm sure you've seen dying along the way. So, we got robots up and running. Can we stop that, please? We're also running with the mod worm attacks, which causes worms to pop up in your base without any warning, which is what was happening here. I had a worm trying to dig underneath this flamethrower turret and has blown up basically everything in this area. If the bots get over here and repair it fast enough, everything's fine, but as you can see, everything is pretty much damaged to hell at the moment, and we're waiting on power to be hooked back up, this belt hooked back up so ammo can get moved out, and all that sort of fun stuff, all before nightfall when the welcoming parties come visit again. So, like I said, we managed to get robots up and running. We also went and grabbed this patch of iron. It really, really helped things along, having a little bit more iron in the base. On top of that, found the series a little bit too easy. So we went through and ran half a dozen console commands. We upped the biters' expansion rate. We told them we were allowed to expand right up to the walls. We told them we were allowed to have bigger attack parties, larger expansion parties. We allowed them to have more attacker groups. So potentially every night there's 20 attack groups that come charging in the base at once, up from the default of 10. Larger groups. What else did we do? A lot. There was a lot of console commands. There was a whole episode on basically explaining what each console command did. So yeah, week 3, we had robots. We were sort of in an okay place, and then week 4 started. Week 4 started, and halfway through the week, we start having worms pop up, and they really love this iron patch, and they have a habit of popping into this iron patch often. In fact, they've taken out this Roboport at least twice already that I can think of. So yeah, worms just suddenly burrow into your base without any warning. It's really, really handy. It's definitely my most favorite feature. I am definitely not jack of it at all. The only thing you can really do to mitigate them is, 1, not have any worms to start with. 2, put down concrete, which is why you saw me ghosting down a whole bunch of stone paths. The higher the run rate is on the different tiles you're putting down, the less likelihood the worm has of actually digging through those tiles. So I'm starting with stone now because that's all I can really afford. Hoping to go up to refined concrete eventually. Anyway, we got robots up and running. Week 4, we started with trying to unlock utility science. Now, utility science required robot frames, which we already had. It also required low density structures, which required us sort of tapping the last little bit of copper we had. That sort of worm, like right into the middle of your walls, just what you needed. So yeah, we tapped the last little bit of copper we had. We're sort of balancing on not nearly enough resources. We've gone and captured iron, so we're okay there. This is a worm trying to dig into the middle of my base. Yep. And it just destroys everything in the area. Okay, so we went and got low density structures up and running, which meant we had to tap the tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of copper that, of course, happened to be in the middle of a lake, just to make my day. Along with getting more steel, which is one of the reasons we needed this iron patch. Hi, biters, it's about to be night time, so we're about to have lots of visits from the neighbours. Along with trying to get a blue circuit build up and running. We already had a blue circuit build, hoping to get power armor. Turns out I didn't have the resources for power armor because we actually need to use chitin for 100 pieces of chitin for Power Armor Mark 1. I didn't have 100 pieces because you got to kill the biters and process the biters to get that stuff, and I hadn't processed them. I killed them, but I hadn't processed them. Speaking of kills, we're up to... hang on, let's slow the game right down. 29 hours, so it's 30, 55, 75, no, 76, something like that. Well, that's easy 100k. We're well over 100k kills already. And our evolution is up to 83%. So we're facing tier 2, tier 3 biters currently. These biters are awesome. They go up to, I think it's tier 10, so it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. So yeah, we unlocked utility sites. That let us unlock a very, very important thing. It was called artillery. We already set up our artillery build doing explosive cannon shells, and we were literally waiting for the tech to unlock artillery shells. We got some artillery put down, hoping that we could push the worms back far enough that we wouldn't have to deal with them. Turns out that idea failed entirely, and worms just show up anyway. They're awesome like that. No, that's not a worm. That's a worm. Yeah, came and burrowed into my base again. He's hit this spot like 3 times already. Yeah, we're about to have bullet time again. And it's caused mostly by the amount of goop, which, as you can see, is now showing up on our collection belt. Our collection belt is awesome. It collects all the goop for us, hopefully, along with green circuits and red circuits, it seems. Why is there green and red circuits on it? Whatever. Oh, there's another worm. Awesome. So yeah, we managed to get artillery up and running. Artillery have definitely helped. I wouldn't say push the neighbors back, but it meant at least when they pop up here, because they like popping up here, I can at least shoot them with an artillery rather than physically having to run over there and kill them. On top of that, we tried to unlock Production Science Pack. Now, Production Science Pack is heavy in stone. Normally on most maps, stone is not an issue. On our map, unfortunately, we're down to 750k stone, and we're using a fair bit of it to keep the walls repaired and up and running. In fact, we're using a lot of it to keep the walls up and running. So we went for an alternative route, which was to use as much alien ore as possible to process it into stone. Unfortunately, for all the assemblers we have down here making stone, we were making a grand total of 10 stone per second, which is enough to run like half this smelter block if I'm lucky at best. So we were making some stone. We were making some production modules, which are of course now short on red circuits because, you know, what base is not short on red circuits, to finally make some production sites. Production sites has let us unlock the last few things we want, like Assemblers 3. Assemblers 3 is really high on my list. And at the same time, we have expanded power not once, but like 4 times, and it's still going okay. Power tends to fluctuate quite a bit. We have a lot of shields running to keep our shields running over our gun turrets to try and increase their survival chances. Yeah, you can see it peaks every night by quite a significant amount. Yeah, these are all being run on biter corpses, of course, because why not burn the biters to keep the lights on? But yeah, at the moment what have you backed up on now? That one. I can't just do a simple video without you screwing up, can I? Can I, game? No, I can't. Yeah, this thing keeps backing up on us continuously. We want you to do alien ore into Mark 2 into iron. Copy, paste, paste, paste. And then have you guys change over as well. Yep. This will provide us a little bit more stone because I think Alien Ore 2 is slightly more efficient at making stone. No. So yeah, we're basically skimming along by the skin of our teeth. We have expanded to grab more iron, but that's about it. We've tapped every little bit of copper we have, and really we need more red circuits, which is down to, of all things, actually a space issue. We need more space. And as you can tell from my very carefully, cleanly planned base, that I am not fighting any space issues and any spaghetti issues. Everything is running perfectly according to plan. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're up to after 4 weeks in. Like I said, we're surviving just. And you are so not processing ore fast enough. You're backed up. More alien corpses are backed up. What are these? Big spitter corpses. Of course the big spitter corpses are the ones that are backed up. So, yeah, this is pretty much where we're up to at the moment. We're skimming along by we're surviving just. The plan is to keep surviving. We do have a lot of tech unlocked. We also at some stage unlocked, I think it was a week 4, we unlocked titanium ore. So now we're going to actually start jumping into Factorio Extended and start making some of the better items in there. Along with, like, we have a whole lot of things we haven't unlocked. Or haven't had a chance to play with, because this is definitely a series about thinking on your feet and getting things done as fast as possible. Hence why nothing is cleanly built and everything's just shoved together. This week coming, we definitely have to reach out and expand. As I said, we need some more copper. We need stone desperately. Stone is probably the most important thing. So we're going to run our walls out to here, which means another worm attacking. Which means a few things. One, it means this week I'm going to drive a tank. We have got a lot of different tanks unlocked. I'm thinking the heavy tank Mark 1 should hopefully keep us alive. But yeah, it generally means bad things are going to happen during this week. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this recap video. As I said, they're meant to be short. They're meant to be sweet. They're meant to be full of landmines. That's actually something else we did do. We did use landmines quite offensively over the last week. And yeah, when you have welcoming parties like this, you know you're being welcomed. You know that the neighbors are definitely happy to see you, and more than happy that you're here and you're visiting. And holy crapsticks, that's actually 2 waves coming at once. This one and that one. No, that's the second wave coming in. That's 3 attack waves, one on top of one another. This is why I keep losing gun turrets left, right, and center. This one's actually faring quite well, because they're going to come in straight. But yeah, it's an interesting series. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. As I said, this is a daily series, so there's a new episode every day of the week. And with that, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. All right, bye.